This situation just took another crazy turn after Boosie dropped a new track called That's Your Son, and instead of keeping the record focused on one person, he decided to call out Jay-Z, Caleb Williams, and DJ Vlad all in the same song. The moment the track started circulating, people immediately understood what Boosie was doing. He knew the names alone would make blogs repost it, fans debate it, and reaction channels rushed to break down every line. Boosie has never been afraid to say exactly what he thinks, but this record feels more calculated than a random rant. He touched 3 completely different controversies, connected them through his own opinions, and created the kind of headline that could not be ignored. The bigger question is whether Boosie dropped the song because he truly wanted to make a statement or because he knew controversy would push the record further than the music could on its own. And once people heard what he said about Jay-Z, the conversation immediately became much bigger. Boosie's Jay-Z line focused on Rymir Satterthwaite, the man who has claimed for years that Jay-Z could be his biological father. Rymir has publicly pushed for a DNA test and argued that he only wants closure, but the legal battle has repeatedly gone against him. Earlier this year, reports stated that another part of his case was dismissed and that he could be responsible for a large amount of legal fees. Jay-Z has never publicly accepted Rymir's claim, and the courts have not established that he is his father. Still, Boosie jumped directly into the situation by pointing to the physical resemblance between them and questioning how Jay-Z could ignore it. That line was guaranteed to get attention because people have been comparing their faces for years. But looking similar is not proof of paternity, and Boosie did not present any new evidence. He simply repeated what many people online already believe, then turned it into a disrespectful punchline designed to force Jay-Z's name into the conversation. That is what made the record feel like more than an ordinary song. Boosie knew that questioning Jay-Z about a possible son would instantly create controversy, even though the issue has already been discussed in court and across the internet for years. He was not carefully examining legal documents or presenting both sides. He was speaking like somebody who saw a viral topic and decided to make it part of his music. Some fans praised him for saying what other rappers might be afraid to say, especially when the person involved is as powerful as Jay-Z. Others felt Boosie was using a deeply personal family claim for attention. Even the title, That's Your Son, makes the accusation sound settled when it remains disputed. Boosie has always built part of his brand around being unfiltered, but there's a difference between speaking freely and presenting speculation like it is obvious truth. That tension is exactly why the Jay-Z portion of the song became one of the biggest talking points. The Caleb Williams part created a completely different debate. Boosie has repeatedly criticized men wearing fingernail polish, and Caleb became one of his main examples after appearing publicly with painted nails. When Caleb later became one of the NFL's biggest young stars and appeared in major football marketing, Boosie saw it as another sign that the culture was changing in a direction he did not support. His argument is that young boys watch football players as role models, so putting a male athlete with painted nails in front of that audience helps normalize something Boosie believes should not be promoted. He has made it clear that he sees the issue as part of a larger effort to weaken traditional masculinity, especially among black men. That is Boosie's personal belief, and he has every right to express it, but Caleb has also never suggested that other men need to dress like him. He simply appears comfortable expressing himself the way he chooses. That difference is where the argument becomes more complicated. Boosie sees Caleb's style as a message being pushed onto young fans, while Caleb's supporters see it as one athlete making his own fashion choices. Painted nails do not change how Caleb throws a football, prepares for a game, or leads an offense. But for Boosie, the issue is not about performance. It is about symbolism. He believes once a player becomes the face of a major sports brand, everything about that image carries influence. Many people agree with him, but stay quiet because they fear being called outdated or losing business opportunities. Boosie does not appear worried about either one. He is independent, has a loyal audience, and has built his career around saying the things other celebrities avoid. But critics argue that constantly judging another man's appearance says more about Boosie's discomfort than Caleb's choices. Either way, Boosie knew mentioning Caleb would restart a culture war debate that had already made him trend before. The third target was DJ Vlad, and this one came from a much more personal place. Boosie and Vlad spent years working together, producing long interviews that generated millions of views and kept Boosie constantly involved in hip-hop conversations. For a long time, their relationship seemed beneficial to both sides. Vlad had one of his most reliable and entertaining guests, while Boosie received a regular platform where his opinions could travel far beyond his music audience. But the partnership eventually collapsed over money. Boosie claimed he wanted a higher interview fee, while Vlad argued that the amount Boosie requested no longer made financial sense for his business. What could have remained a private negotiation turned into a public disagreement, and both men started discussing numbers, loyalty, friendship, and what each one had supposedly done for the other. On the new track, Boosie made it clear that he does not believe he needs Vlad TV to survive. He bragged about making $1 million in one night and suggested he could generate serious money through private gambling events at his home. His message was that he has too many hustles, shows, promotions, and business opportunities to depend on one interviewer. Financially, that may be true. Boosie had a career before Vlad TV and still has fans willing to attend concerts, stream his music, and support his other ventures. But it is also fair to say that Vlad's interviews helped keep Boosie in the news between album releases. Every time Boosie gave a controversial opinion, clips spread across blogs and social media, giving him attention that many veteran rappers struggle to maintain. Boosie helped Vlad too, because his interviews attracted loyal viewers and created endless viral moments. That is why their fallout felt more like a broken partnership than a simple disagreement over an appearance fee. The problem is that both men seem to view the relationship differently. Boosie appeared to believe there was a real friendship behind the business, while Vlad repeatedly described it as a professional arrangement. From Vlad's perspective, he paid Boosie an agreed amount and did not owe him extra money simply because the interviews performed well. From Boosie's perspective, his personality and stories helped generate major revenue for the platform, so he believed his compensation should increase. He reportedly asked for only a few $1,000s more, and when Vlad refused, Boosie decided to walk away. After that, Vlad continued discussing the situation through other interviews, sometimes asking guests what they thought about Boosie's money decisions. That is when the disagreement started feeling disrespectful. Instead of letting the partnership end quietly, the two began talking publicly about each other's finances, business knowledge, and personal loyalty. Boosie's line about not needing Vlad may sound like a straightforward flex, but it also shows that the situation still bothers him. People rarely dedicate bars to someone they no longer think about. Boosie wants the public to know that losing Vlad TV did not stop his money, damage his career, or silence him. At the same time, Vlad has continued producing content without Boosie, proving the platform was never dependent on one guest either. Both sides have survived, but neither has completely let go of the disagreement. The new song gives Vlad another opportunity to respond, and based on their history, he will likely discuss it publicly or ask future guests for their opinions. That means the diss could create another cycle of content benefiting both men, even while they claim they no longer need each other. And that may be the most ironic part of the entire situation. The reaction to the song has also been mixed because many listeners do not believe it matches the quality of Boosie's best music. Boosie and Webby created records that became Southern classics because the songs had real emotion, strong production, memorable hooks, and stories people could feel. On That's Your Son, some listeners believe the controversy is stronger than the actual music. The Jay-Z accusation, the Caleb Williams criticism, and a Vlad TV shot give reaction channels plenty to discuss, but that does not automatically make the record great. Music is subjective, and some fans will enjoy hearing Boosie speak without filters. Others feel he relied too heavily on famous names because he knew those names would carry the song across social media. In other words, the record may have been designed to trend first and be replayed second. Still, it is difficult to say the strategy failed. Boosie wanted attention, and he got it. The song entered the conversation because every target comes with a built-in audience. Jay-Z is one of the biggest names in music. Caleb Williams is one of football's most heavily discussed young players. DJ Vlad operates one of hip-hop's most recognizable interview platforms. By calling out all three, Boosie guaranteed that sports pages, rap blogs, and commentary channels would all have a reason to mention the record. He did not need a huge marketing campaign because the controversy became the campaign. Whether people loved the song, hated it, or only listened to hear the disrespect, they still clicked. And in today's music industry, attention can sometimes matter more than approval. But there's also a risk in building every release around outrage. If people only care about who Boosie mentioned, they may stop paying attention to the music itself. Boosie has enough life experience to create powerful records about prison, family, survival, loss, independence, and everything he has witnessed in the industry. Those subjects helped make him respected in the first place. A controversial line can make a song trend for one day, but a great record can last for years. The question is whether Boosie still wants to compete musically or whether he has accepted that his opinions now generate more attention than his songs. This track suggests he understands exactly how the internet works, but it also reminds fans of how much stronger his music used to feel when the story came before the controversy. At the end of the day, Boosie has once again proven that he knows how to make people talk. He questioned Jay-Z over a disputed paternity claim, criticized Caleb Williams for wearing nail polish, and reminded DJ Vlad that he believes he can make money without interviews. Each line came from a different issue, but together they created one of Boosie's most talked about releases in recent memory. Whether the song becomes a real hit is another question. Right now, the headlines are doing more work than the record itself. Now I want to hear from y'all. Did Boosie make valid points about Jay-Z, Caleb Williams, and DJ Vlad? Or was he using their names to force attention onto the song? And do y'all think That's Your Son is a real diss record, or just Boosie speaking his mind over a beat? Drop your thoughts below, hit that like button, subscribe if you're new, and I'll catch y'all in the next one.